Welcome to our channel. Today, we have an interesting topic, the truth about the atomic bombs, the untold story of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. If you are new to our channel, subscribe immediately and press the bell icon to get our latest updates. Most people believe that only 2 atomic bombs were dropped on Japan, but in reality, 9 bombs were planned. What would have happened if all 9 had been used? First, let's learn about the names of the 2 bombs that were dropped on Japan and their details. We are going to learn about the destruction of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the weapons that caused it. Let's dive into history. Little Boy was the first atomic bomb ever used in warfare. It was developed by scientists, including J. Robert Oppenheimer, as part of the Manhattan Project. The bomb had a length of 300 centimeters, a diameter of 71 centimeters, and a weight of 4,400 kilograms. Its core material was uranium-235. The bomb's design included 2 separate parts of uranium-235, one side was called the projectile, consisting of 9 uranium rings, and the other side was the target, consisting of 6 uranium rings. When the projectile side hit the target side, a nuclear fission reaction occurred, releasing an enormous amount of energy. This nuclear reaction created an explosion equivalent to 15,000 tons of TNT. The United States chose Hiroshima as the target because it had a population of 300,000 people and 43,000 Japanese soldiers stationed there. On August 6, 1945, at 8:15 a.m., the Little Boy bomb was dropped. It took 44.4 seconds to reach the ground and detonated at an altitude of 1,500 feet above the city. After 10 milliseconds, the nuclear chain reaction started. The neutrons began splitting uranium atoms, creating a deadly explosion. The impact caused 3 types of destruction: blast, fire, and radiation. The explosion had a radius of 1.8 miles, destroying 32 square miles of the city. Over 2,000 fires started, burning everything in sight. The radiation emitted included alpha, beta, and gamma radiation, with gamma being the most dangerous, leading to severe illnesses and deaths. Many survivors suffered from radiation poisoning, and generations of children were born with genetic defects due to exposure. Fat Man was the second nuclear bomb, more powerful than Little Boy. It was made of plutonium-239 and had an explosive power of 21,000 tons of TNT. The bomb had a length of 128 inches, a diameter of 60 inches, and a weight of 4,670 kilograms. Fat Man's internal composition included 6.4 kilograms of plutonium, which was the key material for the nuclear explosion, 60% RDX and 40% TNT as the high explosive trigger, and a 24-volt battery to activate detonation. The United States initially planned to bomb Kokura, Japan's capital city, but due to heavy cloud cover, they had to change the target. Instead, they chose Nagasaki. On August 9, 1945, at 17,000 feet, the U.S. Air Force dropped Fat Man on Nagasaki. The bomb exploded above the city, causing massive destruction. The aftermath was devastating. More than 200,000 people died from both bombings. Buildings collapsed, fires spread, and radiation poisoned survivors. Many areas remained uninhabitable for years. Following the bombings, Japan's military leaders were in shock. Communication lines between Hiroshima and Tokyo were cut off due to the explosion. In an effort to assess the damage, a senior officer sent a reconnaissance mission to Hiroshima. The pilots and officers who visited Hiroshima saw an entire city turned into ashes, with smoke still rising from the ruins. The devastation forced Japan to surrender on August 15, 1945. Emperor Hirohito announced Japan's surrender, marking the end of World War II. Meanwhile, J. Robert Oppenheimer, one of the key scientists behind the bomb, reportedly suffered from a mental breakdown after witnessing the destruction. The worst part of this was that even though 2 bombs were dropped and people were dying, America had already planned for more bombings. On August 1, Little Boy was dropped, and on August 2, Fat Man was used. In the 3rd week of October, another bomb was scheduled for launch. Not only that, but 3 more bombs were planned for September and 3 more in October. These bombs were under the supervision of Andrei Kudryavtsev. The Japanese authorities were aware of these statements and feared further destruction. The impact of these bombings was felt for decades. Many survivors, known as hibakusha, suffered from long-term radiation effects, including cancer, organ failure, and severe genetic disorders passed down to their children. The cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki took years to rebuild, and even today, the scars of nuclear warfare remain in the form of monuments and memorials that remind the world of the horrors of atomic weapons. This event changed the course of world history. The Cold War that followed saw nuclear arms races between the United States and the Soviet Union, leading to the creation of thousands of nuclear warheads. Nations realized the devastating power of nuclear weapons, and treaties like the Non-Proliferation Treaty (NPT) were introduced to prevent future use. The tragedy of Hiroshima and Nagasaki serves as a warning to humanity about the catastrophic consequences of nuclear warfare. If you found this information useful, like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you for your